Welcome back to another episode of Chair Shots and Chit Chat with your host CE and me myself. I'm Paco. This is a podcast where we talk everything WWE, and today we have a lot to talk about. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. It really, really helps us out. What are we talking about today?
A lot. I missed last week, but he was here.
What did you think of that? What did you think of of my efforts?
It was good. Overall, it was good. There's one comment I don't like.
Okay.
Braun Strowman is not. You can't compare him to Great Khali.
You can definitely look. Did Great Khali win a championship?
So yes. Braun Strowman can wrestle more than Khali ever
could. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Look, what does Great Khali have that Braun Strowman doesn't have?
I mean,
the Punjabi cage match.
Even that was. Have you ever watched one of those?
I did, and it was amazing.
It was terrible.
What are we talking about today?
Well, BackLash has come and gone.
BackLash.
We're going to talk about BackLash. We're going to talk about what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. And we're going to talk about what's next for a lot of these different things that are happening.
Okay.
First of all, WWE. He's not in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he should be.
Who?
Sabu passed away.
Sabu did pass away.
So rest in peace, Sabu. His one match that I remember from WWE when they did the little WWE's version of ECW.
Yeah.
Was John Cena and Sabu in an extreme lumberjack match. And it was at Vengeance of 2006.
I see. I wouldn't be able to tell you half those things.
It was 2006. But yeah. So that happened over the last 2 weeks. BackLash definitely delivered.
It was better than I thought it would be. The matches that were on there could have gone either way, and I'm very happy the way they went.
All the matches were decent. Even the Gunther. I thought that was going to be a disaster.
I'm going to tell you something. I haven't been a big advocate for Gunther. I think you know this.
Yeah.
I haven't said very good things about Gunther. Not saying that he's a horrible wrestler, that he's a bad performer, but I haven't bought into Gunther. But this match against Pat McAfee tells me a lot about Gunther himself because he carried that match
he had to.
So well. Like, no offense to Pat McAfee. He did his job, and he did a good job in the ring. But that
minus the botch, that match was good.
Yeah, but Gunther did a really good job at being the ring general, right?
Yeah.
And actually delivering a good match because it could have been anybody else in there with Pat McAfee, and it wouldn't have been as good.
Something I didn't know about Pat McAfee is that he wrestled in NXT.
I did not know that either.
He's had some NXT matches.
I don't know. The only Pat McAfee wrestling match that he did that I knew was in WrestleMania. I didn't know that he did any NXT work.
Was that Austin Theory or where was it? It was against somebody. I can't remember. But it was in Dallas. That I do know. It's the year my dad died. Okay. But anyway.
You gotta insist. You can't just put that in there like that. I'm sorry about your dear
Anyways, what do you think the match of the night? Did you watch?
I didn't watch it as it was happening. I watched like the YouTube version of it, which is like a bunch of clips put together. Go through the card. I'll tell you which one my favorite one was.
Okay, so the first match was the Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship.
Okay.
They had Jacob.
You said my cousin came out?
Drew your cousin came out.
Yeah, apparently my cousin came out.
Jeff Cobb made his debut, and he looks like he's with Solo.
Yeah. The new...
I don't know what
the
it
new
is.
bloodline?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But Jeff Cobb has history with Jacob in the past, like on different promotions.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to see. Talk about that later. The second match was Lyra and Becky.
Okay.
And then it was Gunther, Pat McAfee, and then it was what was that one? Dom and Penta, which I fucking hated the ending, and the main event, which did.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the main event.
I can't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give the women their flowers.
I respect that. And Mother's Day.
Lyra Valkyria and Becky had a phenomenal. That's my match of the night.
You know, maybe I would be saying that if I actually hadn't watched. If I hadn't watched like the clipped version of the match that skips every 5 seconds.
My match of the night was Lyra and Becky.
For me,
because I had Becky winning that match.
Okay.
To cement her heel turn.
Mm.
I had her winning that match to, hey, I'm a heel and I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm the women's. That was Lyra's best match of her career so far.
Okay.
And it actually means something.
Yes.
Because up until BackLash, she faced Ivy Nile. She faced, but no one. No disrespect to Ivy Nile and what she is. It's no Becky Lynch. It's no Charlotte Flair. It's no
4 horsewoman.
Yeah. So that was a monumental win for Lyra Valkyria. Even though
I agree.
It is predetermined.
No, but it built her. It built her.
We're finally getting a story where the Women's Intercontinental Championship means something.
Yes.
Where it goes from here, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, Cena versus Orton was better than Cena versus Rhodes.
By a landslide. And look, it was, and I think that may be why I give it to Cena versus Orton, is because, we all knew Cena was going to win.
Yeah.
I said Randy Orton was going to win. I said I was going to stop Booker with my heart. I haven't. But we all knew Randy Orton was going to win. But there were times in that match where you felt like maybe Orton is going to win, right?
You know how many RKOs he did?
You think you said 11?
Yeah.
11 RKOs?
And two of those people, a bunch of those RKOs were to people that weren't in the match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting. I think that story stops there. I think
so too.
He's only got 20 dates left.
I don't think they did it justice. A rivalry between Randy Orton and John Cena should have been more built. There was no. Did Randy Orton ever say a word in the build-up? I don't think he ever did a promo in the build-up. Did he?
I think it was. They only had 3 weeks.
Well, and that's my point. And that's the point that I have been making, is that they haven't done this rivalry justice. It's had. Did you ever watch
writes itself?
Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Well, the last season of Game of Thrones felt super rushed, and that's how this has felt.
I think the heel turn was rushed. I think Rhodes John Cena was rushed, even though he was going slow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that build up to that was rushed. I think the build up to Orton Cena was rushed.
That was definitely rushed. Yeah.
I think he's gonna regret some of these matches looking back after he does actually retire. Which his last date's December 13th, and it's in his hometown,
Massachusetts.
I don't know.
I'm
kind of bummed because yes, he turned heel, but people love John Cena. It's really hard, especially with no character change.
Well, I've talked to you about this.
Yeah, man.
I think that the heel turn is the right move if done correctly.
As Hulk Hogan put it, there was no follow-up to the heel turn.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan did say that. He was like, it doesn't even match up to my NWO.
It doesn't.
Heel turn.
It doesn't. And they said this is the biggest heel turn in the century. It isn't. It doesn't compare to...
Not anymore, because Hogan, at least after the fact that he was revealed as the third man, he took it and run with it.
Yeah.
John Cena didn't do that. I mean,
and I get what he's trying to do. I get.
Yeah, but
I get the direction that he's playing with it, or that the WWE is running with it.
It insults the fans.
Yeah.
So Backlash was definitely great.
It was good.
What
would you give it? On either a scale of 10 or a scale from A to F?
I would give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, so like a C.
I don't know what that would be.
3.5 out of 5 is like a 70.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
So a C? That's a C minus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. I would have given like a B minus.
Well, I was gonna say 4, like 4 stars out of 5.
So that's a B minus.
Like 4 stars out of 5. You know.
I love it how I gave you a 1 to 10, you gave me a 1 to 5. That's what's baffling to me, but.
I didn't like the ending of Penta and Dom, just because.
But so I agree with you. But on the other side, it looks like they're trying to build up Chad Gable or El Grande Americano, whichever you want to do.
It's gonna be a mass versus mass match.
That's what I think. So with Penta versus I was gonna say Captain America. I mean, pretty much might be.
Yeah. So moving on. I mean,
we're moving on.
Overall, it was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree.
5 matches are the sweet spot going forward for these small pay-per-views. It gives people.
Yes.
It gives.
And I think I'm gonna have to get your Peacock information because watching it on YouTube
The matches have the ample amount of time. It really tells if a wrestler can work or not.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about work rate in the business all the time, right? If they can work a 5-match and get good timing down, that's how you know they're a good wrestler.
Can you go more into that?
Meaning, okay, when you have, say, WrestleMania, right? Mm-hmm. It was like 18 hours long.
Right.
Right. You've got 8 matches per night. That's 16 matches.
Right.
That means either someone's matches are getting cut short. If you want to have a good match, you should be able to go out there and deliver a good 20-minute match.
Okay. So you're saying that having a 5, instead of having a 6 or 7 or 8 matches in one pay-per-view, having 5 is perfect because it allows everybody to do at least 20 minutes, if not more.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the thing is, and I'm still having the wait time between. It was still half the pay-per-view you were waiting for a match.
So what do you think that has to do with? What do you think is a catalyst behind the wait time? Do you think it's the build-up?
I think it has something to do with TKO.
In the way that they're...
It's the way... So TKO is trying to make WWE look UFC-ish.
We've seen that with...
the UFC has the build-up packages and the long entrances.
Okay.
The only entrance that used to be slow, and it was the longest one, was The Undertaker.
I was going to say something.
So...
But that's because the entrance itself was a slow entrance.
Yeah, it had to be
for
the character.
Yes.
But when you're taking... Like at WrestleMania when Travis Scott came out and it took him 3 minutes.
That's a horrible example because Travis Scott obviously is not a wrestler. He's not a performer in that sense.
Still, I mean, he's in the music business. You have to have timing to that.
Yes, but he doesn't understand timing to wrestling. Wrestling timing is different than...
But there was still a whole lot of wait time.
Okay.
If they could,
I don't know. I watched a 3-hour pay-per-view in 45 minutes, so to me, it looked like it was going.
If you could get that underneath an hour in a 3-hour, I think we'd be good. It was a 2.5-hour pay-per-view.
Okay.
It's like an hour and 15 minutes of promos, wait time, and stuff like that.
Triple H, Mr. Khan, now you know. That's what you got to do.
Moving on to Monday Night Raw.
I did watch it.
The show opened.
I did watch it.
No one other than, it was Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins' faction is running this whole show at this point.
And they have they're having multiple segments in one show.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest talking point for Raw. It's overshadowing everything else. Which is how it should be.
Overshadowing is the wrong word.
In
my book, but let's move on.
It's not overshadowing. It's more like
it's getting the right amount of attention.
Yes, we'll go with
that.
Yeah. They seem to be, another member's coming.
I said this last week. They built up to another member coming between
Michael Cole.
When
he's talking about it,
he's foreshadowing that so hard.
There's more people coming.
Yeah, he's foreshadowing it very, very hard. The WWE is also foreshadowing. I said it last week, if not last week or the week before that, with the addition of CM Punk and the defense between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, it builds it so it's going to be like
it's going to be a Shield. So you remember back when the Shield was together and Seth Rollins used to chat, there's always a plan B, and Seth hits.
And that's so, and that's what I think too. It just goes back to the predictability, right? I don't want it to.
I don't think it's predictable. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because, yes, there's another.
So if I could tell you who I think it is, and you tell me that's who you think it is, it's predictable.
Okay, who?
Sami Zayn. It's not Jey Uso because he's a champion. It's not CM Punk.
Jey has gone from wearing subtle changes.
Okay.
He's gone from wearing colorful to all black. Right?
Okay.
I thought Sammy was going to, and we talked about this last week, I thought Sammy was going to turn on Jey during the celebration of when he won the title.
Yeah.
But what if? What if it's all a ploy and it's CM Punk? By the way, didn't see Karrion Kross last night.
You are right.
Like, it could go. I mean, they're throwing people off. So it's not like, you can genuinely say, it's this person or this person.
Out of the three, the most probable one is Sami Zayn. Like, this is me booking without my heart.
But thinking about it, Jey Uso was attacked by Braun Breaker. Mm-hmm. You remember
who came to his rescue?
Remember how Dom was always getting beat up by Judgment Day, and he ended up joining the Judgment Day? I mean, that could be a factor too.
Okay. So maybe it is unpredictable because neither one of us are on the same page.
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's other names that have been thrown out there. And with the draft coming up, not for certain.
You know who I wouldn't want to see as much as people might want to see?
People are saying Drew McIntyre.
Oh, my gosh. I hope not.
Because he hates CM Punk. He has history with Sami Zayn. And he doesn't like Jey Uso and his family.
I really hope not.
I really hope not, too.
Yeah, I really hope not. I was going to say Dean Ambrose.
He's still under contract.
I know, but I'm just saying, because people have put that name in there too.
It'd be interesting for sure. That's an interesting character.
But he deserves his solo matches. He deserves his solo run.
He had it.
But not that one that did
injustice. He had the title.
But not one that did injustice. You know that.
Yeah, the Dean Ambrose is like way out in left field.
Right.
Some people are saying Austin Theory.
A lot of people are saying Austin Theory.
I've seen. Who else have I seen?
I saw AJ Styles in there.
I don't think it's gonna be AJ.
I don't think it's gonna be AJ Styles.
I've seen. What is his name?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I went blank.
What does he look like?
You said Karrion Kross.
I said Karrion Kross, yeah.
But I haven't seen that.
I've heard Carmelo Hayes, too.
His character doesn't make sense for it. And it could be somebody from outside the company.
It could be.
It could be.
What if it's
Jungle Boy from AEW?
Oh, okay. No, that's not what I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
You know what I was gonna say.
No.
Say his name.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
But what if it's Cody? You know what I mean? We've been waiting for that heel turn.
Maybe it is Cody, but
Because Cody, well, it looks like Cody's going to get that rematch with Cena at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But we don't know. But yeah, there is definitely going to be another member. We might find out at Saturday night's main event, which is in 2 weeks, which is stupid. They're doing Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus... And that's where I think it might be Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Because he was like, hey, we good? Last night he asked him if he was good. He was like, I can't really trust anybody. What if it is Sami Zayn?
yeah, CM Punk said that.
So...
I also saw something that said that whenever Jey Uso got attacked, that whenever
he does come up out of nowhere. I will give you that.
Sami Zayn?
Sami Zayn just comes up.
So does CM Punk. CM Punk said too.
No, CM Punk comes down the ramp.
Oh, okay.
Sami Zayn comes from the crowd. I don't know if that plays into it.
Oh no, I'm talking about in backstage when Jey Uso got attacked. Jey Uso got attacked. I think he got speared. Braun Breaker
But Sammy
walks away.
or Paul even said, yeah.
Let me get my thought away.
Go ahead.
Apparently, Sami Zayn went up to him, and Easter egg is that whenever he went to go like check on him, he put his hand on the belt. That is something that apparently
I did not see that.
I didn't see it either. I saw it on TikTok today whenever I was like going through fan theories.
The NXT call-ups are proving they belong.
Agreed.
The main event...
And it's the women call-ups that are like really impressive.
The main event between Roxanne Perez, Julia, tag team against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. It was a phenomenal match.
It was really good.
Roxanne Perez is now the third youngest to wrestle a Raw main event match.
Good for her. How old is she?
She's only 24, 23.
That's not bad.
23 and 6 months.
How old was
Randy Orton was the second, and then Kenny Dykstra from the Spirit Squad was the first, because he was only 21.
Okay.
I loved the match.
They exemplify what not women's wrestling, but wrestling in general.
This goes back to the releases.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not up to speed within a certain amount of time, or if you're out of here.
Yeah.
You know, there have... I don't know why it took so long, but Braun Breaker took a while to get to the main roster. He should have been in the main roster a long time ago. And we talked about this last year.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, same thing with Braun Strowman. The only reason why they let him go is because of the money. They're going to bring him back.
Oh, yeah, you told me that they're doing, like, that how everybody's getting their own show now. Stephanie McMahon has her, you know what I'm talking about, right? She has her show. She has her podcast. Apparently, Braun Strowman is like they're traveling, eating my way through America.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Going through all the famous restaurants in the United States and eating everything.
Yeah. There was no negative, like, they didn't leave on negative terms. Well, it was just that he couldn't move around as much.
Braun Strowman is generally liked.
Yeah.
Is generally liked in WWE. That's why there was so much commotion when they said, we're releasing Braun Strowman and every other side that they released, but they signed AAA and they signed AAA talent on Virtual WWE.
So, on that, they're converting all the contracts eventually.
I figured that's what they were doing.
It's going to be under TKO, not AAA. Mm-hmm. So, TKO WWE will take the brunt of their contracts under one umbrella. That's basically all it is. Alberto Del Rio will not appear on WWE TV.
Do you think he gets released from AAA? Because he's the AAA champion right now.
I don't think so. Because there were a lot of people saying that he was going to be fired, and then he got signed to a WWE contract. So, I get it with everything that happened with Alberto Del Rio in the past. I get it. But, I mean, we're allowing other things to happen. You know.
Yes.
There's a whole scandal going on right now.
Yeah.
So, they're doing it with Chris Benoit too. Oh, now Chris Benoit can be talked about again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and Triple H said if it makes money, then it'll happen.
Yeah.
That's how the CM Punk thing happened.
Right.
The only other thing I wanted to talk about from Raw was the Finn Balor. That turn's coming.
I hope so.
I just think it's been dragged out too long.
That Finn Balor AJ
it was a phenomenal match.
AJ
Styles
match was really, really good. Which shows how much chemistry they have from over years and years of wrestling together.
They definitely wrestled outside the company.
Yeah. They were in the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So.
And Finn Balor was also seen talking to Roxanne Perez. They've left little Easter eggs over the last couple of weeks where he's unhappy. And,
Yeah.
But my favorite part from the entire show, whereas Carlito, he was like, "Oh, I know you miss Liv. We can hang out. We can go out to eat. You can pay with your credit card, and I'll pay you back." That was the funniest thing of the entire show.
Did he say anything back?
Who?
Dumb?
No.
He just said okay.
But he was talking to Raquel.
Ah.
Because there was some backstage. But no, yeah, I definitely hope that Finn Balor turn is coming. I feel like after he got his knee injury back in 2017, 2016, they just kind of gave up on it.
Look, the WWE will look very different had he not injured himself after winning the Universal title.
Yeah, for sure.
It would look very... Because they were pushing him hard.
Yeah, he was the first Universal champion. Yeah. And then he got injured, and it's been shitty ever since. Yeah. Bring back the Demon. I
agree.
I'd like to see a match with him and Finn. With Dom and Finn. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I'm conflicted. Because you get... It's the... I hate saying this, has-beens and the could-be's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that Finn Balor is a has-been.
No, he could still go.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw it yesterday. But he is definitely an older talent.
Okay, but you say that. Jeff Cobb's 42 years old. They just signed him. Look at Seth Rollins.
I would have to see how they handle Jeff Cobb.
He's 44. Seth Rollins is 44.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's made a name for himself outside of the title contention.
R-Truth is 53.
Okay, but you don't really think that he's going to be, which we can talk about this later, you don't really think that he's going to be a world champion anymore. Like, he's been stuck in, not the mid-card, but the low card, what would you call it?
I like Vince for that. That's a Vinceism. And I also think it's Bruce Pritchard that's ruining wrestling.
Look. Okay. Well, why Bruce Pritchard?
He's a McMahon guy.
Okay.
So, everything that he learned from Vince, it's kind of stuck with...
Oh, it could be. Can we agree that Dominic Mysterio is the future of this company?
No.
You don't think he's the future of this company?
Not world champion, at least right now.
No, I'm not talking about, that's what I'm saying, future. I'm not saying present. The future, I'm talking about the next 4 to 5 years.
I'll give him 10. In the next 10 years. He's only like 24. 25.
Which the fact that we're even, or that I'm even bringing it up, because you're not saying this, you're not agreeing with me. The fact, and I'm not the only one that said this. I've heard this on a couple different people talk about Dominic Mysterio this way. Dominic Mysterio has the same potential that Randy Orton had whenever Randy Orton was starting in this company. The main difference between Dominic Mysterio and Randy Orton is that Dominic Mysterio is not a screw up the way that Randy Orton was whenever he first started.
But we said this about Braun Breaker too.
I'm not saying he's the only future, but he is part of the future of this company.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay.
I'll agree with that statement.
I think within the next 5 years, you have a Dominic Mysterio that is so over.
And he's already over right now.
And that's what I'm saying, so over, that there's a contention of him being
Think he has
the
a
face
better
of the
career
company.
than his dad?
Yes, 100%. And I say that not because, not to take anything away from Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was the guy when little people, when when smaller wrestlers weren't supposed to have that limelight.
Yeah, he was between him, super crazy.
Do you
psychosis.
think Rey Mysterio is who he is without Eddie Guerrero?
He had some other good matches with the Malenko. Like, we're talking like 1989. I mean, it was like 1990.
I do think that Dominic Mysterio is going to be it's going to be a household name.
I'll go with that.
Maybe
I don't know.
Even more so than Rey Mysterio.
It just depends. I mean, we're seeing he's breaking out into his own right now.
You know what? I take it back. And I apologize for dragging this on. Rey Mysterio will be bigger than Dominic Mysterio because Dominic Mysterio is going to elevate the Rey Mysterio's name.
Yeah, I can see that.
So and at one point he will be as good, if not better, than.
But what's this have to do with Finn Balor?
Great question. What does this have to do with Finn Balor? That the company might choose to push new talent over older talent. So in a match between Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, whenever Finn Balor turns heel,
you're also saying that in a WWE where a 48-year-old John Cena just won the WWE Championship.
Well, we understand that this is a one-off situation, right? Like you can't compare Finn Balor to John Cena.
We're talking about and that's what they're doing with this whole faction with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker's the younger guy.
They're building him up.
You know, it happens all the time in wrestling.
But it's a passing of a torch, yes. Right? It's a let me give you the knowledge that I didn't have the privilege of knowing myself.
He's the next match probably for Dom is AJ Styles. That's another one he has to, I don't know how they're going to do it. I also don't know if they're going to turn him face and Finn's going to be heel. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be like a double switch.
Okay, double turn.
But, I also see, I don't know. Who gets kicked out? Do they kick Dom out of Judgment Day? Or does Finn Balor just leave Judgment Day? These are things you got to think about. Okay. But Dom should definitely win the rivalry between him and Finn.
And so that's where I'm going with. Like, that's why I say in the time where we want to see Finn Balor be elevated again, right now is very unfortunate for him because who's his main rivalry that you can see?
Right now, it's Dom.
Exactly.
Right now. So
if you go Finn versus Dom, probability is that Dom will win.
Yeah.
Which will, I mean, that
I really
depending on
hope
how
they
they
don't.
do it, they can bury
I really
even further Finn Balor.
Really hope that they don't wait much longer because it's already at a boil. You can tell.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's next.
Tell me, what's next?
I don't know.
I love the energy, by the way.
What is next? On Friday Night SmackDown, Charlotte came out and did her thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you people are nothing without me kind of thing. And then she leaves.
The overplayed Charlotte Flair herself.
She walked out. And she runs into Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
What? Alexa Bliss says, let's chat.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they're chatting about? Because I remind you, the only reason why Alexa Bliss was written off TV was because Howdy was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy's now fully healed as of March.
Okay.
They weren't going to bring her back to TV until it was time for
the Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
So what are they chatting about? Are they going to, a lot of that at Alexa Bliss' return was written around this.
Yeah.
Group. Which we haven't seen in a while because, unfortunately, Uncle Howdy's been injured.
So, you would think that any conversation that's had with Alexa Bliss, or any conversation that Alexa Bliss has, it has to be around the Wyatt Six.
Yes.
So,
do they?
It could be like an induction, like, hey, join us, be our.
Well, I also think, and this is something that they could do, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair become a tag team for short term, right? And what is her name? I can't think of her name right now.
Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair?
No, the one that's in the female that's in Wyatt Six.
Oh, I don't remember her name.
Sister Abigail.
Oh, okay. That Alexa Bliss is supposed to play?
No. Nikki Cross, the one that
Nikki Cross is Sister Abigail?
Yes, right now.
Okay.
She's the only female in the Wyatt Six right now.
Right.
Nikki Cross is in Wyatt Six, so maybe they start teaming up. And she's like, oh, it's going to bring in... They're going to tie in Bray Wyatt somehow, which they already have, in a way. Mm-hmm. But the last time we saw Alexa Bliss before she came back, there was a burning of... she helped Randy Orton and turned on Bray Wyatt. So I don't know. What do you think?
That theory is not a bad theory. You're definitely a better booker than I am. Yeah, it would make sense for them to maybe do like a tag team.
They would have to beat her up to get her to join back or something like. I don't know how I see it ending, but I see Alexa Bliss taking over the group and becoming the leader.
Mm-hmm. Being mother.
I don't know what they're gonna.
Yeah.
Because she's got that weird ass doll.
Like that voodoo doll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's a very good theory.
She said,
I'm interested. What else do you have to say? What's next for other talents?
Who's the next addition? We mentioned this earlier.
Okay.
To the Seth Rollins faction. If you had to put a whole paycheck, who would it be?
Hi. If I had to put my whole paycheck, which is not a lot.
We're talking pennies here.
I mean, I think, because I saw this somewhere too. Like, if your life was on the line, who would you put?
Yeah.
And the easy answer is Austin Theory.
But you just said 2 weeks ago that it can't be Austin.
No,
Theory.
but the easy answer is, right? Like, the most popular answer. If you're a betting man, that's what you would do, right?
I'm putting all my money on Sammy.
I think that's too predictable.
But isn't WWE predictable?
Again, here I go playing with my heart. Like, okay. I actually see to you 2 very good points back to back. Sami Zayn, my whole paycheck.
And are they really thinking about doing John Cena versus R-Truth? Did you see the Did you watch the press conference?
I did. Are they really thinking about it?
It doesn't...
Look, I think if they weren't thinking about it before, they're thinking about it now.
They don't do stuff for nothing. Well, they do. I've seen storylines just end abruptly.
Yeah.
So they might. But this is likely pointing to John Cena versus R-Truth for the title.
I mean, they could do it. They definitely could do it.
Do you think
and John Cena wins?
John Cena will win that match. If R-Truth were to win that match, that'd be fucking stupid.
Well, and that's why I say John. I mean, because WWE has been pretty stupid with the whole situation with John Cena.
R-Truth has been around. Like, we're talking. He was working with Road Dogg back in like 2000, 2001.
Apparently there's a picture of him and Tupac.
Yes,
I did not know that.
He's been around the block.
Yeah.
I mean, he was TNA World Champion at one point. So
he was in the Make It Work movie.
Was he?
And then the wrestler?
I didn't know that.
I think so.
He's been around.
Yeah.
But is he world like?
Obviously not. Obviously, I mean, does he have the talent for it? I'm sure yes. He definitely has the mic skills.
It looks like. I mean.
What? Talk to me.
I mean, yeah, he says he wants to grow up and be John Cena or whatever. It's like, truth, you're already grown up. You're older than him.
Yeah, you're old.
So, I guess it's to culminate that. And it's not a major pay-per-view. It's only Saturday night's main event, which is live on NBC.
I should have that channel.
It's not a pay-per-view. But they are foreshadowing.
Something between them two.
No.
What's next?
John Cena versus CM Punk.
They are.
So,
how? Tell me.
John
I
Cena
need to know.
posted something on X.
Yeah.
And the My Time Is Now album cover. You know,
Yeah.
he wrote a little rap album back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an ice cream cone melted on top of it.
Oh.
And if you remember...
Yeah, the feud between him. He wanted the ice cream cones.
He wanted the ice cream bars.
Yeah.
And I remember the ice cream bars. I don't know if you do. I remember the ice cream bars.
CM Punk is my favorite wrestler of all time.
So...
him and Stone Cold.
So if you look at it... So... CM Punk posted on X as well. And there was a little, closed caption. It said, John Cena is still champion. And then Punk wrote for now. So, a little foreshadowing there. John Cena versus Punk. I think that would be saved for SummerSlam.
I would hope. But didn't you tell me that they had leaked something about John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for SummerSlam?
No, for Money in the Bank.
Ah, for Money in the Bank.
Which that's the next that's the next main pay-per-view.
Money in the Bank. Yep.
So I can see Cena versus Rhodes, which I don't know why, because the match was terrible.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to redeem themselves.
Maybe. Or they may also... I really think the passing of the torch moment, he's going to lose the title. He's not going to go home with it. WWE's already made so many belts over the last 5 years. There's no reason to make another one.
I think they make another one because he has hinted that he is last true universe.
We'll see December 13th. I saw something outlandish where it was like, oh, John Cena's going to hold it till WrestleMania. And I was like, have you not been paying attention? But I think...
unless he says he has, 20 dates left?
More?
No, how many days does he have left?
He's got 20.
Yeah, unless he says he has 20 days left, but December 13th is the 19th.
It would be stupid to keep him off TV with the title for 5 months.
Unless they're playing into him retiring with the title. I don't know. Go on.
I really think we might be building toward a Roman Cena match.
I like that.
I think that's who, because they're already planning on giving Roman the title again anyway.
Why do you say that? Because he's Roman, or is there something that's...
Something Triple H said. Triple H said that this company is still on the back of Roman Reigns. And I've been seeing things saying, oh, they're going to give Roman another long title reign as a babyface.
Gotcha.
And he's so over right now. Why wouldn't you?
He's over.
But you got to give... I mean, I would...
Were you the one that sent me the time that... Yes, it was. It says, Roman Reigns has had one reign with 1,316 days, where John Cena has had 17 reigns, equaling 1,404 days.
I think that's setting up Roman versus John, and that's for the title. And Roman wins that match.
That's a passing of the torch?
Yeah. Even though Roman's already beat him. But it was...
But I feel like this would be a...
It's got to be a... Like, John Cena has to train for... This match has to be good.
Yeah.
Because you're only as good as your last match.
Like, even John Cena... John Cena's a great performer. But even somebody he's selling isn't good.
Not anymore. I don't know if it's because he's spent so much time away, or he's...
I don't know. I say that having just watched Randy Orton versus John Cena, and that Cena was amazing. So, you know what?
It all goes back to chemistry.
Yeah, I'll keep on my shot.
He had more chemistry with Randy than he did Cody.
Yeah.
And that's not Cody's fault.
No, it's not. Cody carried that match.
Yeah.
Cody, yeah.
So,
what's next? Anything else?
I mean, what is next? Because next week, or in the next couple of weeks, right before or right after Saturday night's main event,
I'll give you what's next.
We're gonna have a draft, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Rosters will be shaken up.
But I'm excited. I think you sent me that, and I'm like, good. This is exciting.
They're thinking about doing something drastic.
I'm all for it.
The face of wrestling of WWE can change.
I'm all for it. I am.
But they have to stick with the brand. If they're going to do this, they got to stick with the brand.
Split?
The brand split.
Yeah. Look, I think we have the right leadership to in Triple H and is it Tony Khan?
Yeah, I think that's the AEW.
That's the AEW. And the other Khan, Nick Khan, and Nick Khan, and senior leadership within the WWE, to that not only has said some of the things that we're going to do, but has delivered in some of the things that we're going to do.
On that note,
well, I have one more. What's next?
Oh, go ahead.
Who do you think wins Money in the Bank? Who do you think gets put into the match with Money in the Bank, and who do you think wins that Money in the Bank match?
You know how hard that is?
100%.
But you know who makes the most sense?
I think I know who I think makes the most sense.
To me. And it can't be big name. It can't be Cody.
No.
It can't be somebody
like... It can't be Seth. It can't be...
It has to be somebody... You'd be crazy if Braun won it.
I was thinking that, but... I mean... Like, that was one of the people on my list.
But who makes more sense?
Well, so... I'll tell you why I didn't go with Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Because then Braun Breaker is overshadowing Seth Rollins if he has a championship. If Braun Breaker catches in... Yeah. Similarly to
it'd be too soon.
How Seth Rollins... Yeah, then that's another reason why. But if Braun Breaker catches in, he wins the championship, he overshadows Seth Rollins a little bit. That. I see...
Don't say somebody stupid.
I see Dom.
Not this year. I say the next one.
Does Dom have? I guess he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it yet.
Yeah, I mean, because he has already a lot of stuff going on.
He had. So a lot of people that win the Intercontinental Championship usually go on to win the world title.
Right.
Gunther did it. Rob Van Dam. You know, a lot of people.
Yep.
So, I mean, he doesn't make sense this year.
Okay. So who is your?
That's hard because there are two.
Okay.
It's women's and men's.
Okay, no, let's go for men.
I don't even know because it's so like. I don't know at this point. I'll have to give you that answer next week. I can see Lyra winning it.
Okay.
But I could also see. I'm not going to say Zelina Vega.
I know who you're going to say. Stephanie Vicker?
Yeah, I could see Stephanie
That's
Vicker.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, for women.
That's what I was thinking.
Because, you know,
she's very over.
She's already had 2 matches on the main roster. Give her a reason to come over to the main roster. That'd be perfect.
That'll be happening in the next couple of weeks.
Maybe. But I could see her winning the women's. As far as, I mean, I could see Roxanne Perez winning that too.
Okay, I can see that too.
But the men, it's kind of it's harder on the men's side.
That's what she said.
Unless it's Karrion Kross.
Okay, that's not a bad answer if they're really trying to like push him the way that they were.
The way they should have pushed him like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
He's almost the top selling shirt.
Which I didn't know too much about Karrion Kross until like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah. But he's been around for a minute. He's been in a lot of groups that have been released and re-released.
Yeah.
So it's
okay. We got some good options.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting for sure. I see those qualifying matches starting to happen over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's June 9th. Literally.
Yeah.
2 weeks after Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. There's a lot of changes that are going to be happening. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really, really helps us out with our engagement. That's the least that you can do.
Who do you want to see in John Cena's career?
In John Cena's what?
In John Cena's career.
In John Cena's career. Comment R-Truth in the comment section.
Don't forget, R-Truth might beat John Cena at Saturday night's main event for the title.
I would like to see that. All right. That being said, peace.